Wakey on this lazy Sunday, 53 days left until Cosmoverse 2025, the 5th edition coming to Croatia this year. And some people might think Croatia is a bit of a random location, but if you see who's coming, then you might actually get very, very bullish. And we just gave a nice little facelift to our website that at one glance you can see the top companies and organizations that are supporting or attending Cosmoverse. We have Revolut that is going to be there, the new Cosmos leadership. We also have some major news today that I will share in the video about a major rebrand. Then BCG, Boston Consulting Group, also the Croatian National Bank, which is the central bank of Croatia. Very excited about this. And also the European Crypto Initiative that are leading MiCA experts. This year's theme is also about policy meets protocol. And we're also now having the on-stage dialogue and conversation about MiCA compliance specifically. Tickets are available at $69 US. Early birds have already been sold out, but $69 general admission. And then the executive ticket at $7.99. That gives you also access to the opening dinner one day before the conference, a VC brunch, which is a dedicated area at the breakfast table, and also a VC soiree event. So this might be interesting to you if you're either a C-suite decision maker executive or if you are a project that is currently in fundraising mode. Anyways, that's Cosmoverse. In fact, I also just had a very, very bullish meeting. To be honest, I was a bit nervous getting into that one because Gavin Wood and Ethan both were on that call. And we discussed some secret stuff that we can hopefully share in the coming days. But was very honored and again, nervous to kind of speak with both of them in one room. Absolute legends. I also told them that I'm very kind of grateful for what they have done to the space, what they have innovated and pioneered. Gavin, the inventor of Solidity, and wrote the yellow paper of Ethereum back in the day. And then Ethan, of course, with Cosmos, interoperability, IBC, the whole app chain thesis, which we see now is actually playing out in front of our eyes, right? We just saw Stripe announcing a chain called Tempo. So Matt Huang, who is the founder of Paradigm, that is the official partner of Stripe to develop that blockchain, he made a post, a payments first blockchain incubated by Stripe and Paradigm. And they also now have an official Twitter account. And they also kind of came out introducing some of their team. And they're also kind of clarifying why they chose to go with an L1 instead of an L2, what the technical specs are or goals here. Going to be EVM compatible. Obviously for payments, it's all about UX and it's all about scale. So we'll see how the exact technical framework for that chain is going to look like, because I think they have not yet announced whether that's going to be a proprietary chain, which means they build their own stack, or if they use the Cosmos SDK or other public stacks like Substrate, for example, to build that chain. I think that's not public yet, but again, I haven't followed that story too closely. But it validates the Cosmos thesis. It validates what Ethan and Jake Kwan have invented back in the days. And Cosmos is just at the forefront, which is why I'm, of course, through and through a believer in Cosmos, in the app chain thesis. I think this is not going anywhere. In the opposite, it will continue to gain more adoption. The only question is now what happens with the economic flywheel within the ecosystem, and can Atom capture value finally, right? Well, we're going to talk about this in a second, but first off, I want to also give a shout out to our traders. Our dYdX Cito perp wars trading competition is in full swing. In fact, we only have a few days left. So round one ends on September 13th. So we have 6 days left for that competition. You cannot enroll right now, actually only 5 days left. You cannot join this competition. However, you can get prepared for the next round, which will begin shortly after this one ends. So September 13, round one ends. Rewards will be distributed 2 days after that. This is all automated through the contract here, through the dYdX Arena. And currently we have 𝗪𝗕 leading the way with a $10,000 P&L, shortly followed by 𝗬𝗪𝘁, 9.6K, and then we have perp, 3.5K P&L. So if you can compete with that, if you want to outcompete them, and you want to scoop that $1,500 reward that rank 1 is getting, so 𝗪𝗕 is not only now 10K in a profit, but he would also, or she would also currently get the first prize, which is 1,500 USDC, and then rank second gets 800, then 600, 400, 200, and rank 6 to 10 get $100 each. So there's a high probability up until rank 10 people win money here. So if you are registered in that competition, I see a lot of people have not deposited even the $10 minimum threshold. So they have signed up, but they're not eligible right now because they haven't even deposited the $10 minimum threshold. So do that ASAP and compete in this round. And if you have not registered in that round, get ready, because shortly after the distribution of reward from round 1, we will open the registration phase for round 2, and then you should be there. If you think you can beat those numbers, if you are competitive and you think you're a better trader, then this is probably your chance to also earn money, earn incentives on top of that. Another parallel incentive campaign that we've been running, which I think both these campaigns are also very nice in a kind of sideways bearish market phase for altcoins, at least, that we're in, to kind of boost your portfolio and to be incentivized to either trade or to create content. And with Cito Earn, we have just concluded the Cosmos campaign, and prices are also distributed now. Price number 1, the first prize goes to 2 cosmonauts, Liz cosmonauts, 600 USDC. They have done a very, very cool French video about Cosmos institutions and gained some good viewership. So 2.5K, around 2.2K views. Then Tony, who's been a frequent winner in these campaigns, he won $400 for a top tier thread that also gained decent traction. And then also Costa, also long-term cosmonaut, great thread on stablecoins. We're also always linking the winner's content here in this thread, so you can see what is the benchmark, what is the reference. And again, if you think you can make better content, you can have better engagement, then you can also compete here in our Cito Earn competitions, which I think are great ways to really boost your portfolio. So those are the top 3 winners. There have been a couple of more winners. So Hodl Wizard, 𝗬𝗎 Brand, Eat Healthy, DeFi Captain, and Web3 King all won 10 Atom each. Congratulations. This will be distributed today. Now, getting over to the big news of the week, that has been the Union Mainnet launch. Union has been in the works for quite some time. I've been knowing Carol, you can see here on the left, since 2022, when he was still in a different role. And then he went ahead and founded Union, which he first presented at Cosmoverse in Istanbul in 2023. I remember back then, they didn't even have a proper logo or a proper name. So yeah, that kind of first coming out of stealth was at Cosmoverse in Istanbul. They were also there last year in Dubai. I hope this year in Croatia they're also coming. But yeah, they have just been heads down with their mainnet launch, understandable. And also with that, of course, the U token airdrop. So claim is now live. If you have followed 𝗪𝗪𝗁 or are a Cito Plus member, then you definitely are aware that there was a pre-registration phase that you had to pre-register. And if you did that, then you can now claim your airdrop. The claim window is quite short. It's only open until September 18th, which is also coinciding with another airdrop I'm going to tell you about in a second. So that's the deadline, September 18th. And I, in fact, also still have to claim. I pre-registered, but I still have to claim. So I'm going to do that right after this video. And then, yeah, you can claim here. It's all explained. And yeah, if you run into any hiccups, then reach out to us or join Cito Plus that you can find if you go on our website, Cito Plus. And in fact, you can also see 𝗪𝗪𝗁 did a full video, a step-by-step guide on how to pre-claim your airdrop, how to pre-register for the Union airdrop. So yeah, Whoop really is the place. We also have a private Discord group that you can join by becoming a Cito Plus member. And we offer 3 tiers. The $39 a month is great if you want to just give it a try, see how it is, see if there's any value for you. And then after that, you can decide if you want to become a longer or long-term member. The 1 year is with a 36% discount. So around $25 a month you come out if you take the 1 year package. So that's that. But feedback so far is very, very good. You can see also 5 stars. And we have also landed exclusive airdrops and exclusive whitelist slots for our members. So the criteria, for example, for the Union airdrop was that you must have held a Whale Shark NFT. And the Whale Shark NFT was highly competitive when it came out. But we as Cito Plus members, we also got exclusive whitelist slots for the Whale Shark NFT. And some of our members could massively boost their airdrop by just being Cito Plus members and are now sitting on a multiple ROI for just being members here. So that's why it's not only a safe haven because you can talk to other people if you are concerned about a upcoming airdrop, about a piece of news, if you want feedback on your portfolio, if you want to ask us, our team about our portfolio strategies, things that we see in the market, very, very niche specific things, then you can also ask that question. But on top, again, you also get exclusive perks, and also you can request content for Cito Plus only. Now, another major news is that Interchain Labs has now rebranded into Cosmos Labs. Cosmos Labs is now the official operating arm in Cosmos that is responsible for the Cosmos stack development, which means the Cosmos EVM, which they have bought out the license from the 𝗬𝗪𝘁 team, previously Ethermint, a couple of months ago. So the Cosmos EVM that is now integrated also in 10 plus chains out there. Cosmos SDK, of course, 𝗪𝗵𝘁 development, the Comet BFT consensus algorithm, and also, of course, Cosmos Hub development and Atom. So Cosmos Labs, led by Mag and Barry, is now fully responsible for that. After the acquisition of Skip Protocol, which was the company that Mag and Barry have founded back in 2022, also had their kind of coming out of stealth back at Cosmoverse in Medellin, where also Barry was on this legendary MEV panel moderated by Sunny with Mechatech, which I think is also not around anymore. But Skip really smashed it. They built their API, they got integrated left and right. And this SkipGo product is also now part of the official Cosmos stack. So that is step number one, a major rebrand, which is also going to set the tone and kind of restore the brand of the Cosmos ecosystem, right? That is really the kind of big path forward here. They also came out with a full-on blog post sharing more context here, also what they have achieved, what they have shipped in 2025 so far, the funding also that they have given to Neutron to maintain and grow the Cosm development, which is the native Rust smart contract framework in the Cosmos ecosystem. Also they have shipped 𝗪𝗵𝘁 v2 with 𝗬𝗪𝗁, which was more relevant in the first kind of couple months when they took over. But now that they have entirely shifted focus, also decided to not deploy the EVM on the Cosmos Hub, but instead focus more on institutions, on fintech, on payments, on governments, right? Also to pitch large deals to the big boys out there. I think we're going to see how that will play out for Atom, of course, and whether they can establish a business model, one for Cosmos Labs and two for Atom as a token, right? And in my interview with Mark from a couple of weeks ago, not too long ago, I also talked with him about that. So if you're interested in learning exactly what they're thinking right now and how they think about Atom, then I strongly recommend you watch that interview, which you can find here on YouTube as well. Now, on the product side of things, we also now have StreamSwap. The best way to launch a token is now deployed on the Cosmos Hub. We obviously already talked about this in context of the Intento INTO token launch that was streamed also, the very first token on the Cosmos Hub. And that stream has also concluded. I think they raised around 25 or 30,000 US dollar in total. So congrats to them. And StreamSwap, again, for me, the best way to launch a token, especially if you want to reach the Cosmos on-chain community. So people that use Cosmos DeFi, that use Cosmos DEXs, that are Kepler native, you can reach those people by launching your token on StreamSwap. And it doesn't have to be only on StreamSwap, but I would always recommend leaving part of your allocation dedicated to StreamSwap, which was developed by Sisla and the Flix.fun team that is now also deploying StreamSwap on other ecosystems as far as I understand. Now, we also have some news from Ondo Finance and my man Jack Sempolin. Big congrats here, because they have launched Ondo Global Markets, which basically means tokenized stocks are now offered by Ondo. And soon this will also be on the Ondo chain that is currently in the works. I think they're still a couple of months away from mainnet launch, but this is definitely also one of the most highly anticipated launches that is around the corner in Cosmos. Then quick update from Osmosis, which to be honest, I have not really heard anything from Sunny in a very long time. He's also not replying my DMs, unfortunately, but we'll see. Johnny is keeping us posted here in the meantime with another burn proposal that is now live, requesting to burn 435k Osmo from the maximum supply as bought back with Osmosis taker fees, another monthly record. So the burn continues. I personally am not sure exactly how Osmosis will be positioned primarily moving forward. I still have my Osmo bags and I really hope it will make a comeback and really manage to thrive, but I'm not sure what the predominant direction is going to be, whether it's going to be Polaris, whether it's going to be Bitcoin, DeFi, or Osmosis itself, we'll see. But yeah, Osmosis is at least accelerating on the burn. But yeah, we also have to see liquidity on the DEX itself, because liquidity for a DEX really is very, very important. Even with concentrated liquidity and all these innovations, I think it is still important to have decent liquidity, growing liquidity, big token launches that are listed first on Osmosis and really strengthen this position as the predominant DEX in Cosmos. Now, another project that is undergoing major changes is Stargaze. And the latest news is that Shane, the founder of Stargaze, is now stepping away from Stargaze. This one, to be honest, caught me a bit off guard. So Shane is stepping away. I want to, of course, thank him for all the contributions he's done to Cosmos, for all the stuff that he's built over the years that he's contributed, and wish him all the best moving forward. And also for Stargaze, of course, Stargaze 2.0 is in the works with, I guess, Ruan and George at the leadership. So we'll see what comes out here. but Shane is now out of Stargaze, but apparently he will still be around as a builder, so we'll see what he's up to next. Finally, I mentioned you earlier, September 18 is a deadline to keep in mind, not only for the Union airdrop, but also for your Mantra GenDrop allocations. So the first 10% GenDrop allocation is claimable since March 18, but you only have until September 18, so 2 more weeks, 1.5 weeks, to claim that 10%. Otherwise, it will be forfeited and you will not be able to claim that later on. And why September 18? Well, that's because the next 10% will be claimable from then on. 10% on at a monthly rate. I'm not going to comment on the price or anything like that. I have not followed too closely what Mantra has been up to in the past couple of months. But of course, I wish JP and the Mantra team all the best. I hope they can manage to come back from this. And it looks like they're at least still fully committed. They still have good funding. They also just announced this $20 million investment. So they still have cash and they still have runway and they still have core team commitment. And that is very, very important to go through these times. But we'll see. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give a quick look at our website at Cosmoverse. We have more speakers to be announced in the coming days, but the current lineup is already very solid, I would say. So yeah, for those of you that were a bit concerned or puzzled about the location, I think look at the lineup and you'll see that we have some very, very high-profile people from the region, specifically from the country. That's really the benefit about doing it in a country like Croatia, because people are really proud that this is happening. They're proud to be part of it. They are proud to connect us, to help us, to be there, to come with their whole team. So this is really the spirit and the heart and soul of Cosmoverse, which is also part of the location choice for this year. But we have some serious people. And yeah, this is the highest profile lineup we ever had, with the Serbian government represented, with the Bosnian government represented, the Croatian, of course, as well, and the Croatian central bank. So yeah, hope to see you all in Split, latest in October. You can book your discounted room here as well. We already reached the capacity, so I talked to the hotel to increase it because the first round of rooms were already booked out, but I managed to increase the capacity for that special rate. So check that out. I'll see you in Split, Croatia, and I'll see you here very soon on 𝗪𝗪𝗁. Until then, stay safe and be good.